Hawkman #1, Robert Venditti writing, and Brian Hitch on the art. So this is interesting. It's been a while since we've had an issue 1 for an ongoing
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
Especially one that's like new for like the post Rebirth launch. Like like here's a hero we haven't had yet. I mean it's popped up in things. I mean, but you know,
Yeah.
new series. So
And I think it's worth the wait. I really do.
you enjoyed the book then, Matt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I'll jump in.
You jumped in.
So the fact that we get to see Hawkman running around with a satchel, I'm already getting Indiana Jones vibes.
I knew
And then
you'd
he
like
goes
that,
into
Matt.
this, yeah, right. And then he goes into this water temple, right, the sunken temple. And what's the deity? But a gigantic stone ape.
I think the narration is a little clunky at times, but overall
Yes.
I had a blast. I love the ideas. I love what we're doing with finally trying to establish the various versions of Hawkman.
Oh yeah,
and
I
bring
mean
them
that comes
together.
later when he goes to Xanadu to
That's
sort
Yeah.
things
but
out.
that's every Hawkman story I've ever read is him finding out about the different lives, and there's always something more to it. Whether it was John's
No, that's
stuff
fair,
with
but
Kendra,
they don't usually link the Thanagarian and the Egyptian together.
no, I mean,
No, 'cause
well,
what-
John's did.
In some ways, yeah,
Well, I
but
mean,
not
'cause what-
definitively. I don't
Because what it says at the end here is that not only has he been reincarnated, he's not even just been reincarnated in time, it's all over space as well, so there's different versions of him on different planets, over
including
time.
a Kryptonian one.
Including a Kryptonian
Yeah.
one, yes.
Which kind of, I don't want to say broke my brain, but I'm like, wait, so is he existing in multiple places at the same time, or
I wouldn't think so. I think it's just when he reincarnates, he doesn't necessarily reincarnate on Earth. He could
On
reincarnate
so
elsewhere.
So all the times that he wasn't reincarnating on Earth, he was on another planet, right?
Yeah.
So he was on Ran at one point. He was on Thanagar at one point. He was on Krypton.
Yeah,
And this also opens up to the future reincarnations, right? So there might be a Hawkman that runs around with a Legion of Superheroes in the
Yeah.
30th century. Or there might be a Hawkman that knew Booster Gold in the 25th.
Well, there you go.
Or even
Those
Zoom.
ideas.
It opens up so many more possibilities. And I think that's what makes Hawkman work, is his tie to history. And now this just doesn't do Earth's history. This is galaxy-wide.
yeah.
I thought it was just okay. But it's not actually I actually like the concepts. I like the idea of Indiana Jones Hawkman. I like him fighting the giant stone ape. I like this mess with his backstory and that this is kind of the explanation for the Rand and more the Thanagar version. Rand's new.
Yeah.
Thanagar's the normal one.
Yeah.
And all that stuff. But I'm not a big fan of Venditti. I do think that the dialogue or the narration specifically felt kind of clunky to me. And my biggest problem though I think with the book is that I really don't like Hitch's art.
Usually, I'm
It was
not big on
terrible
it.
to me.
This
Yeah.
is probably the best Hitch I've ever seen. I still don't
Mhm.
love it, but it's by far the best I've seen him ever do.
I'm just not into the art all that much.
I think it was the colors that really brought it out for me. Especially when he's outside flying, all the lighting and stuff. I think that looks really good, and it hides some of the hitchness that I'm
Yeah.
usually not big on.
So I feel when Hitch isn't writing, he has a thing for action. When he's just drawing it, like when he's writing action, it's very boring. Like we saw
He writes what he wants to draw.
Yeah, but here when someone else is like, "Hey, I'm gonna have Hawkman fly against this gigantic stone ape, and there's gonna be rubble everywhere," and he kills that page. Like it looks great. I think.
No, it's a great page.
Probably the
yeah.
most it's probably the most I've liked Hitch since he's been at DC. Because he did the JLA stuff, right, with Johns, or was that Finch?
That was Finch.
Yeah.
Okay. I get them
Um,
confused so often.
And obviously at the end it also sets up there's a big presence coming to destroy all the worlds that he's been on, starting with Earth, so that's kind of setting up the big bad for the book. Just funny because skimming through it there as we were talking about it, I'm like, yeah, no, this is all kind of fine stuff. Again, yeah, adventuring, fighting giant rock monsters and whatnot. Yeah, I don't know. And the fact is I'm seeing a lot of people like it, on Twitter and stuff. I'm seeing a lot of people are quite happy with it. So people who want to like Hawkman, I think, are getting a lot out of this. For me, it's just the creative teams kind of nulling my
I'll be honest. I don't understand. You really don't like Venditti, and he's not always great, but I feel like this is perfectly fine level of Venditti.
Yeah, it's better than his Flash for sure. Like his Flash had huge problems. But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna give it the first arc and see where it goes. But this is definitely my kind of book. This is what I want out of a Hawkman. So I'm so happy.
I really like the lettering on the stone ape. Where where it's shouting at him at the end.
Yeah.
The letters all distort, and you can still read it, but you get that it's underwater. It's all all this stuff's there.
Yeah.
It's really strong lettering work that usually I don't have much cause to actively shout out the letters.
Also, they hinted at seafaring apes and winged apes. And I was like, Venditti, if you don't go there, this is the guy that gave us Space Ape. Like, he has a thing for gorillas, I'm sure. So
He must do.
yeah, like, but no, there's so much there with it. Like, I hope we get more Indiana Jones stuff. I hope that's what it focuses on, because him going around and searching for these nth metal artifacts, right? That was the crux
I feel
of
like
him.
we will get some more of that at least. Even if it's not his goal is to go and do that. Like this issue, it starts with that's his objective.
Yeah.
I feel like it might be a byproduct of whatever he has to do. He has to go and get X object.
And that's fine. Like, but I'm in.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. I guess we'll rate the book then. What are you giving it, Matt?
It was an 8.5. Thoroughly enjoyed it, and so it surprised me more than anything.
All right, Connor?
I give it an 8. I think even though I did enjoy the art more than I expected, still hitch ultimately, but I had a blast.
I am going with a 5.5.
Wow.
Which one? I mean, I just don't think the dialogue flowed for me. I like the concepts, but overall, I thought it was a bit of a sludge to get through.
You know what it is, Connor? We're used to reading Venditti so often in Green Lantern and Howling Pals. I don't think it affects us like it affected Pete.
Maybe.
That's probably you could just be used to the way he writes now.
Yeah.
Could be. Yeah.
We've been assimilated.
It's an acquired taste, is what you're saying.
It's funny because this book doesn't actually feel that narration heavy to me. It's you have chunks. You have like a certain section where here's quite a bit of narration, like right at the start and then towards the end. With the discovery page, with all the lives. But mostly it's just here's a little bit here or there. It's not that all invasive like it is on some of his other works.
I think the problem is though, the big chunk of it is at the start, so it kind of put me in a.
Oh, I also like what it did.
Mood,
it's building a supporting cast with the Greek guy.
Yeah.
That he's he knows his family, and the wife packed Carter.
Oh, and Xanadu as well. I assume is going to pop up.
And Xanadu, yeah. So, and what's cool about him is you can do the adventure stuff, but you also do the mystical reincarnation stuff. And I hope Venditti strikes the balance. But I thought this was a really strong first issue. I'm definitely coming back for more.
I think if I liked the art, I think it would raise it a lot for me. Because I think once the narration stops and he's fighting the stone ape and all the rest of it, I think if I was visually appealed by that, I think I'd be more into it. But as it is kind of kind of in the meh range. But I appreciate what it's going for. So I don't know. We'll see.